Sometimes we wish for certain things so strongly that we do everything that the manifestation gurus tell us. We make a vision board, write down our goals, say affirmation 10 times a day, but somehow, for some reason, it just doesn't work. Why? In this video, I'll talk about the top 3 mistakes we make while manifesting. And no, we are not just going to skim the surface. I'll also show you how these mistakes are quietly hinted at in some of the books that we've read or heard of, but somehow missed. And of course, we'll talk about how to fix them in ways that are actually useful. So stay with me till the end if you want to make your manifestation process stronger, smarter, and smoother than ever. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Tanya and I help people understand themselves better so that they can find confidence, clarity, and purpose. And normally we don't talk about topics like manifestation because, let's be honest, there's a flood of information around it. Even I have been in the process where I've researched everything about the law of attraction, about manifestation processes, what to do, what not to do. But the real insights, the subtle shifts that change everything, not a lot of people talk about them. I had to learn about them the hard way through trials, errors, and a lot of delays. But because I care about you guys so much and I don't want you to go through the same delays, let's talk about manifestation. But before we jump into the mistakes, let's talk about what manifestation is and what it definitely isn't, because there is a lot of confusion around it as well. So most people who are against this topic usually think that manifestation means just sitting around, visualizing things, thinking about it, and things will magically appear in your life. But that's wrong. The way manifestation works is you ask, you align, you act, and you allow. The path to what you desire will never look the way you imagine it. That's why the process, the how and when these things will work out is never in your hands. It's better to just let it go. There's a very famous quote, and if you're an Indian, I'm sure you've heard about it everywhere. Karm karo, phal ki chinta mat karo, which means do your duty and let go of the outcome. And that was the earliest and the clearest manifestation advice ever given to us, and we just ignored it. Which brings me to our first mistake: attachment to the outcome. Sometimes you want things so badly that you're emotionally obsessed with it. You keep checking if it's working or not. You start questioning the universe that you asked for it. Where is it? It no longer stays faith in the process. It turns into desperation, and desperation as an energy never works out in your favor. In The Alchemist, when Santiago is learning about the language of the universe, his mentor tells him, "Don't think about what you've left behind. Everything is written in the soul of the world." And that was your hint. Don't cling, but surrender. But let me clarify, detachment doesn't mean indifference. It means you deeply care about something, but you're not holding it so tightly that the energy cannot breathe. Letting go of the attachment to outcome is the first step in manifestation. So, how do we fix it? I started designing my own rituals that grounded me in the feeling of my manifestation without focusing on when it will arrive. For example, creating an audio memo to my future self as if it has already happened, not to beg for something but to align with it. The key is to anchor your day in something sacred, not desperate. Mistake number 2: manifesting from ego and not the essence. This one took me the longest to understand. Sometimes what we think we want isn't actually what our soul needs. We manifest goals based on fear, comparison, or old wounds, like wanting money, not for security but for proving yourself, or wanting love, not to give but to fix loneliness, or wanting success, not for passion but for revenge. In Untamed by Glennon Doyle, she says, "You can't build a life of true meaning on someone else's map. If your desire is coming from ego, it will either not manifest or it will and you'll still feel empty." How do we fix this? Here's a small journaling method that fixed how I manifest. Whenever I want something, I ask, why do I want this? Why is that goal important to me? And why does that goal matter? By the third layer, you'll definitely know if it's coming from ego or essence. Let's say I want a bigger following on social media. Why? So I can reach more people. Why is that important? Because I want to share what I've learned. And why does that matter? Because the younger me needed these messages and she never got it. So now I'm manifesting from a healed space, not a hungry one. Now we are almost close to proofing our manifestation process, but there's one last thing that can quietly undo everything, and that's your energy mismatch. So mistake number 3: misaligned energy, wanting versus needing. You can ask, you can visualize, you can detach all you want, But in the end, if you don't feel worthy of what you're asking for, you're actually operating from a place of lack. This is what the secret gently hints, but often gets missed. You attract what you are, not what you want. So if you feel desperate, impatient, or doubtful, you're not attracting abundance. You're attracting more of that desperate energy. There's one small line in The Secret that says, when you're feeling despair, that's when you are powerfully creating more of those feelings. That's the trap. You're asking from a place of fear instead of trust. And that fear has a frequency of its own. So if you manifest from a place of lack, more lack of things is what you're going to get. How do we fix this? Practice energetic embodiment before it's real. Let me explain how to do this. Choose one small physical action every day that matches the person who already has what you have asked for. For example, if you're manifesting love, wear perfume like you're going on a date with someone who adores you. Or if you're manifesting financial success, open a spreadsheet and track your imaginary income for fun. These may seem delusional, but let's be honest, a little bit of delusion is necessary to trust the process. You could also call it energetic rehearsals. You're not pretending, you're preparing for what's to come. So let's quickly recap the top 3 mistakes. Attachment to outcome, which means trying to control timing or form. Manifesting from ego, not essence, which means chasing things rooted in fear or insecurity. And mismatch between energy and belief, when your actions and emotions don't match what you say you want. And the best part is, once you start catching these mistakes, you don't just manifest faster, but you manifest wiser. Because the truth that no one tells you is manifestation is not magic, it's maturity. It's a quiet and powerful alignment between your desire, your belief, and your behavior. Without the action, there is no outcome. So, what are you manifesting right now? Drop it in the comments below. And if this helped you even a little, like this video or share it with a friend who's in the middle of manifesting for the next chapter. Until next time, remember, don't just wish for it, grow into it. Bye.